following is a fan-made review show. These are not official reviews, nor commissioned, nor monetized videos. All works featured on this channel are properties of their respective owners. Please support the official releases.
Even after all this time, I still have some unfinished business with this shit stain of a movie. Welcome back, guys, to Slaughter Scenario. 3 years ago, I mentioned the film Shrill Cries of Summer, the live-action Higurashi adaptation, and that it was an absolute travesty, missing the mark on what made the series great in the first place. Now, the video I made about it in the past may not hold up to my quality standards now, but my point still stands. This movie sucked, and everyone in the film was horrifically miscast, and overall, the film was a bore to sit through. In the 3 years since I posted that original review, a lot has changed since then that has warned me to take a look at the film's sequel, Higurashi no Neko Koronin Chikai, or also known in English as Shrill Cries Reshuffle, a film that stars mostly the same actors and shares the same director as the first film. Remarkable, since we all know how much love and care the man put into the project the first time around. This time, the film adapts the atonement arc, which is rather fitting if you really think about it, since it resolves two characters' inner turmoil in a fairly short period of time, and it also serves as a reasonable follow-up to the first film, as much as I hate to admit it. Now, I could be very well falling into a trap repeating my grievances I had with the previous film, from the terrible acting to the horrible direction, but I'm not going to go there this time around. Instead, I'm going to focus more on to see if the people actually improved themselves this time around in this entry. And so far, to the film's credit, I actually found two major improvements over the first film. One such improvement was that the cast members were better utilized in the sequel, with characters being able to emote and act to the situations around them. It was actually kind of surprising compared to the lifeless robots of the first film, considering they were the exact same fucking people, but I digress. One such sequence was when Rena freaks the fuck out and tries to blow up her school. I was legitimately frightened at both the actor for having it in her to bring out such power to the scene, and the fact that I was actually watching something that didn't bore me. That's right, this one actually held my attention for a short period of time. Unlike the first film where I watched it in 4 parts, I managed to sit this one out in one sitting. That alone is an improvement. But, granted, some of those scenes were really due to the actors, because they were actually given something to work with this time around, so they can actually represent and bring to life the characters they're supposed to be playing. You know what? Fair enough. I'll take it what I can get. But you know what? That was it. Nothing else. Everything else was shit! I still can't recognize anyone reliably, just like I did in the first one, and for even more reason now since they changed the actor who plays Oishin from the original film, which is jarring and it is confusing. The guy doesn't even look the part, and it breaks the immersion, both for the actors who are trying to get comfortable in their respected roles, and for me trying to expect some level of consistency between films. The cinematography is still weak as ever. Every shot is wide open with no semblance of depth of field in any of the shots I've seen, making for a very plain and flat-looking film that's extremely monotonous to look at for 2 hours. The effects are shit too! There's a sequence where Rena kills a woman in self-defense and the whole scene is layered with this red tint. What the fuck is that? Is that supposed to mean anything? If not, then why the fuck did they choose to include it in the final cut of the movie? It looks incredibly childish, almost as if someone discovered they had an extra video track in their editing software and used it to fuck around with the colors and opacity levels. You know what? This is not the most bizarre or cheapest looking effect this film has to offer. Believe me, there's more of them. They also redid the marker reveal, which makes no fucking sense since they spoiled it in the last one. At least here we actually see what happened, but the whole sequence looks like it's filmed in a fucking void that doesn't even resemble Keiichi's household. But this is not even the most damning effect out of all of them. Towards the finale, Rena and Keiichi are fighting on the rooftop of the school, and in a sequence that makes zero sense to the story, Rena and Keiichi are shot by a sniper. The following shot is a slow crane pull-out while the two are on the rooftop as it rains. First off, the rain. I can tell that the rain is coming down from an angle to cover the surface area of the roof, indicating that there's something pumping the water off screen and it's far away enough from the actors that it doesn't even look real anymore. I'm sure if you zoomed out a bit more, you would see the fucking water pump next to the crane. They could have chose not to include the shot and it wouldn't be an issue. But the fact that they left it in proves to me they don't know what the fuck they're doing with the material and they're just cashing in on an easy payday. Special shout out to the director who thought it was absolutely crucial for the scene to include a crane shot to capture the majority of the fight scene. I don't know what this guy was thinking, but he managed to make the fight look awkward and disjointed, cutting from the action up close and personal to the crane shot observing the action from afar, and back to the action up close again. This is astoundingly bad directing. This sequence doesn't need to have that sense of scope since the action and drama built into the scene at this point should speak volumes than a camera angle. The fact that the director didn't trust the story to speak for itself, in and of itself, speaks to me that this was a last-ditch effort to make the scene feel big and important, as if the stakes weren't high enough already! God damn it! I hate this fucking movie! Higurashi hasn't gotten a break in the live-action department for what feels like an eternity! Am I that figure now? Am I Rika, forever doomed to repeat my days living in a world where this series doesn't get any justice? If I'm Rika, where the fuck is Hanyu? I have nothing but contempt for this fucking string of wasteful cinema, and I refuse to let this go, unless something else can convince me otherwise to have faith in another fucking Higurashi adaptation. Fuck's sake. Like, what went wrong? Everything was right for the taking. Well-developed characters and personalities, completely realized stories. Did no one read the script? Read the manga, or hell, even saw the series in the first place? Probably not. Everything was practically storyboarded already. Are these people really that inept at telling these stories? I may never know, but I need something else. It's not fair. What the fuck? There's another one? No fucking way. These are idols. They're semi-competent at least. Fuck it. Oh my god! Where the fuck was this in 2008? Fuck it. I am stunned. Holy shit. For once in a blue moon, this is something good for once. And I am at a loss for words. Seriously. The cast is perfect. They got the characters right. And for once, in what feels like years, we actually got a proper adaptation of Higurashi. Most of the main cast are idols from the group known as NGT48, and they fully embody the personalities of these characters, and it works wonders in comparison to what we got previously. No longer are the characters so lifeless that it seems like the actors are cashing in an easy paycheck. The 2016 cast brings life to the personality and mannerisms that make the anime so lovable in a way that's believable and faithful without resorting to over-the-top antics retreading the anime in a different medium. No longer are the characters unrecognizable with actors wearing whatever the hell they felt like wearing on set that day. This time around, we actually have costumes, an honest-to-God budget to afford outfits for the talent, and are straight out of the anime with no detail left unturned. It's fantastic. Every character is well cast in their roles and is able to hold their own in heavy dramatic segments when the series calls for it. I'm honestly stunned. After the previous films, we were left with something that was utter shit. Almost anything would have been better than what we've got. But I didn't expect this much effort into the sets, the costuming, and hell, even the actors. This is by far one of the best adaptations we're going to get of Higurashi in live action. And by far, they killed it. But it isn't without some of its flaws. And this adaptation and the films do share this flaw. And unfortunately, it's the cinematography. I called out the previous two films for having really flat cinematography, and unfortunately, the TV drama falls into that trap yet again. Most of the shots come off as really flat and lacking any form of depth in their shot composition. It is most unfortunate that this drama didn't utilize what it had over the films to one-up itself visually. It's probably the only minuscule complaint I can muster up to find in this adaptation so far. Everything else is fucking stellar. To be completely transparent, they at least know that what they're working with is actually good, and the films are pieces of shit, so they're willing to improve it, whatever the cost. This is probably the best live-action adaptation of Higurashi we're going to get, and I've read online that this show is getting a second season, adapting the answer arcs. Seeing how they handled the question arcs, I eagerly await how they tackle the answer arcs. Will they finally create that live-action Higurashi adaptation that will garner praise within the community as well as hardcore fans such as myself? Only time can tell. But as where we stand right now with Season 1 of the TV drama, this is definitely a good step in the right direction towards it. Now, personally, I'm pretty hyped for Season 2, and it's just been announced not too long ago. And from what I've seen in Season 1, they're willing to improve the pieces of shit movies that we've got in 2008 and 2009. So, I'm more inclined to trust them. And so should you. I'm the Gorehound, and I wish you all a very merry Rena Day.